You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose.
Your own jingle, Ashley.
As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in.
There we go. That's the only thing I've got blue. It's Blue Monday. It's Blue Monday, but there's going to be no blue in here today. Gavin, Jamie, how are you?
Really, really good. Really, really
Awesome.
good. No Blue Monday blues over here, is it, Jay?
I don't know about you. I love Mondays, and I'm doing these podcasts every single week. It's something really exciting to look forward to as well. So nice to see you, father and son couple there down in Cornwall.
Was the case?
How are you doing?
Really, really good.
Excellent.
Yeah,
So answers
really,
on the
really good.
postcard. Answers on the postcard. Who is the father? Go on. You're really, really good. What's going on down in BizFest land?
Well, we've had some quite exciting exhibitors come on board last week. We had.
Oh, what happened on Friday?
What happened on Friday?
We brought on Virtue Motors, Jaguar Land Rover.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah, and they're going to pick me up in a top of the Range Rover, aren't they? Is that right? Is that what I heard?
We'll get Steve to pick you
We'll
up.
get something.
We'll get Steve to sort you out. Yeah, Steve King. We'll get Steve to sort you out.
I'll give you a crossbar.
Yeah. Crossbar.
Yeah, on the front of the bike.
Old school. Old school. No. So it was really, really good. So now at the show itself, so we have, and I'm going to quote Jamie here on whenever he's talking to new exhibitors, but we've now got at the show in terms of car manufacturers, BYD, Mercedes-Benz, Smart Car, Aurora,
Jaguar and Land Rover.
Which is really, really cool.
We're not a car show. We're not a car show, I promise. But
no, but it's nice to see some of those people there. And Aurora and BYD are new to the market, so interesting and sexy stuff. In fact, we were at the BYD showrooms, weren't we, for one of our networking events? So,
yeah,
it feels like a long time ago.
There's a little bit of a buzz with all the exhibitors because you're putting on some extra stuff. So last week, I gave away some free training to all the exhibitors.
Yes. And thank you for that as well.
No, it was great fun. It was great fun.
We had great feedback as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we should maybe get another one scheduled in.
We can do that. We've got plenty of time. Right. So here's the other thing. There's something going on at Bovey Castle, which is an amazing hotel, luxury hotel nearby. Go on, tell us all about that, Jamie.
I
love you, Stitch you right up.
So it's 28th, isn't it? 29th of January. We have got our second ever pre-show networking event. So this is an exclusive event just for our exhibitors and our speakers and our partners and our sponsors. And we're doing it from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. Yep. And we have listened to all of the feedback from our first pre-show networking event. So don't panic, anyone. There will be biscuits.
Yes, there will definitely be biscuits.
Brilliant. No scones then. No scones.
No scones. There would be too much of a fight, wouldn't there? You have all the Devon lot.
They'd be putting the cream on first. Oh my goodness! Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
Okay. No, we also had some other really, really good news last week.
Oh,
as
come
well.
on! Spill those beans.
So they have been verbally signed up, if you will, but we got the official go-ahead last week that the Federation of Small Businesses will be supporting Business Fest Southwest. They're exhibiting at the show. So we're very, very excited to have those guys there as well. So FSB, all the major car manufacturers.
I mean, just one point to say, actually, before we leave off and we speak to some of our tremendous exhibitors, the partnerships that we've got sealed in for Business Fest on the 2nd of April are phenomenal.
Yeah.
As I like to put it, all of the cool kids in respect to networking in the Southwest, Not Working Networking, Samfire Club, Institute of Directors, Federation of Small Businesses, West Country Women Awards, Devon Women in Business,
Boost Your Business Network, Building Brands.
Yeah, with Courtney. Yeah. It's going to be phenomenal.
Courtney, James Court.
Awesome.
Yeah. So no, we've got some really, really cool, and also you're obviously going to be speaking to 3 amazing ladies from 3 amazing businesses that are
I'm gonna drag them in here, kicking and screaming. I know they don't want to be here, but we're going to make their first ever experience on live.
Who better to have than you?
One
Leeds.
to remember. Guys, lovely to see you. And we'll speak to you next week. You take care.
Take it
See you
easy,
later.
Ash. All the best.
Cheerio. Right, let's see who we've got in the green room. No specific order, but we've got Lucy, Anne, and Janice. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
So you've been sat back there watching that. Have you been nervous, or have you been looking forward to jumping on and seeing how much fun this is going to be today?
Looking
Mixed.
forward to it.
Mixed.
Awesome. Right, okay, no worries. I don't bite, and this is all about fun. This is about letting people know who you are and what you do. So let's kick off with Janice. Tell us a little about who you are, what you do, and where are you, please, Janice?
I'm a neurodivergent positive psychologist, and I run Janice Jones Coaching, and we specialise in neurodiversity coaching and training. I'm
Boom.
based in Devon.
Perfect for Blue Monday. So we're going to be digging into that in a minute. Lucy, holding brand photography. I take it you're a photographer.
I am. How did you guess?
I guess because of the fun I had getting a photo out of you. Oh no, I mentioned it. Sorry.
So I help small businesses with their online visuals. So whether that's photos or film, I help people stand out from the crowd and get seen, basically.
Brilliant. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? We need to be seen more. And Anne, tell us all about you and what you do, please.
We are Focus Power Solutions, and we sell, install, commission and maintain uninterruptible power supplies, which is battery backup for businesses, hospitals, hospitality, oil rigs, data centers, you name it, anyone that would be affected by fluctuations or power failures, basically.
Wow. So when I think of UPS, which is uninterrupted power supply, I think of a little box that I use at home. Yeah. I never really thought of it in big terms, as in a hospital. That is serious.
Absolutely. I mean, we're just working on a quote this week for 2 100 kVA systems for just one small part of a very large hospital in the Midlands.
Wow. One kV.
But also, we also
kVA.
sell small boxes too. That one's they're both 100 kVA.
100 kVA. What's that to your average guy that's in a shed in Devon then, who hasn't got a clue what a kVA is?
A kilowatt is a unit of power. So your computer probably uses 300 watts, maybe.
Okay. Yep.
To run, give or take 150 to 300, depending on the power of it. So 2 100 kVA UPSs would probably run a couple of wards, maybe, depending on whether they're running MRIs or anything really high powered, in which case it would be bigger. So some of those have like mega. Yeah, sorry, go on.
And I guess with a hospital, and you've got people on life support machines, you don't want an interrupted power supply, do you?
No. And a lot of them will have generators as well, but generators take time to kick in, and generators supply dirty power. So the UPS functions twofold, really. It cleans the power as it goes through, but it also bridges that gap between the power failing and the genset coming on. Hopefully the genset comes on, just to keep things running, because you can't have people mid operation, for example.
No.
But whether that be a small ophthalmology, local clinic, or whether that be a huge hospital. This one was Shrewsbury, I think, that we were looking at. But yes. So, but we also sell the little boxes that you're talking about as well. So,
sure. So anything from a guy in a shed to a guy or a lady running a hospital.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm going to come back to Janice because it is Blue Monday. It is Blue Monday. I'm a big fan of neuroscience and stuff like that. So, what give us some tips, Janice, today, if we are feeling a little bit blue. And if you're watching this, or if you're on this show today, you're definitely not feeling blue. You're hopefully feeling yellow. But come on, what
you might do what I did this morning, which is crank up the volume in one of my favourite songs. I'm learning some line dances, so I put on a really good country track. Cotton Eye Joe, put that on, and started learning a whole new load of moves, because getting physically active, doing something you actually enjoy, is a great way to get those endorphins, serotonin, dopamine, all of that going, which is what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do they call it Blue Monday then, Janice?
Because traditionally there have been a lot of people reporting depression, etc., on this Monday, because we've been through Christmas, we've been through the new year, the credit card bill might have come in from people buying stuff for the holidays, and suddenly reality hits. We're back to work. We live in the northern hemisphere, low light levels, not enough sunshine. So yeah, that's what Blue Monday is all about. But we're not blue here.
No, we are definitely not. You had to sign something to say that you weren't going to be blue by coming on today. No, fantastic. Lucy, photos. One of my pet peeves is the photos on LinkedIn. Any tips for people getting photographs taken? What are the things that the biggest mistakes we make when we take photos?
I think for especially people doing it themselves for their LinkedIn profile, it really, one of my pet hates is when they do it below. So you're like looking more at their chin rather than, or they do it high up, or like more like a selfie. It doesn't come across very professional, and it's not crisp and clear. You can just tell that it's you've done it yourself. Where there are ways that you can do it yourself with just making sure the light's a bit brighter, and you're wearing something that looks maybe a bit smarter, so it's not just like apart from you, Ashley, yellow is your color and it's part of your brand, so that's fine. But if you're just wearing not really thought about your outfit, your brand, the lighting, just little things, just little tweaks like that make quite a big difference to how you're showing up online. So it's really important, because if you've got rubbish imagery and something that it can actually turn people away. People are like, oh, they've got this, looks like an amazing business, but then their photos aren't doing it justice. So it's just really important to have all your ducks in a row when it comes to showing up for your business and your brand.
Yeah, no, and I guess you go round and do a brand shoot with somebody, so they've got their wardrobe and you pick lots of different things and go to different settings. Is that right?
Yeah, so people can either come to my studio where they can bring a variety of outfits, because sometimes they have in their head what they want to wear, but then we're doing the shoot and actually a few clients of mine have said, can I swap outfits? I'm not really feeling this one. And then they put another one on and they feel so much more comfortable and it actually looks better. So it's good to have a few different outfits just to bring along. And even if we're out on location or I come to you, then different outfits, different angles, different positions, lots of things that are thought about before the actual shoot goes ahead.
Yeah, sure. One of the things that we think we should do is take photos in the middle of the day in July, because we're in the UK, because that's the sunniest and bestest, but that's too bright, isn't it?
Yeah, too bright. A cloudy day is actually quite good because it's like a natural filter, and it gives you a soft light, whereas if it's too harsh middle of the day, you've got harsh shadows, and there's that's also a thing to think about when you're shooting in the summer, especially maybe do it earlier on in the day or maybe in the evening when you've got the nice orange sun setting. It depends what you want to show your clients and what kind of business you've got. So many different factors to think about.
Absolutely. Move to the UK because we never have a summer, so that's dead easy, isn't it? So talking to all of you now, and I want to know a little bit about why you've booked a stand at BizFest and what you're looking forward to. So I'm going to go in the order that I've just done it in, so you've got time to think of it. But Janice, you're the first one on this one. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Basically, I wanted to, do some networking with other like-minded businesses in the area. So get to know other businesses, which I think, the BizFest is definitely hitting that one in these events. But also that I have an opportunity to do a talk on neurodiversity when I'm there. And that's really important to me, to get the message out about how organisations can support their neurodivergent staff in a really good way, and how, amazing having the right coaching and training, how amazing that can actually help the business completely and turn a business around. It can really positively affect culture, and therefore when culture is positively affected, then engagement and all of that improves. So yeah, it really is an important message, and I have the opportunity to do that there.
Awesome. Oh, looking forward to that talk. Anne, you've got a stand there. I guess there'd be a team of you there. It won't just be you on your own. Is that right?
No, it won't just be me on my own. I'm not sure who's joining us yet, but almost certainly one or two of the sales engineers. The reason that it's our first foray, if you like, into exhibiting, and we are very aware that the Southwest has got an awful lot of business, especially sort of Bristol, Exeter, Plymouth areas, and it just seemed an area that we weren't tapping into. Was untouched. The price of the show was good value, we thought, for what's being offered as part of the marketing package, and like Janice, I think there's the opportunity potentially to give a talk, although I'm hoping that won't be me because I'm not great. My knees go to jelly, but yeah, just
you can sit down, Anne.
When you say uninterrupted power,
breath work, you'll be all right.
Glaze over.
That's great. And Lucy, why are you coming along?
Similar reason to Janice, really. I wanted to connect with other businesses. With the brand photography side of my business, it's all fairly newish in the last few years, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to also educate other businesses on why brand photography is so important for their business, and as well as connecting with other people. And you never know what collaborations might go on as well, so people with similar audiences to mine, collaborations, networking. I think it's just going to be such a great event.
Fantastic. And I'll come over and you can take a photo of me. So
well, I am actually offering some headshots on the day, so if you do want a headshot, you know where to come.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, every time, because I've got a stand and I'll be helping people with LinkedIn, and everyone I see, I'll point them over to you and get proper headshot, because that's what we need.
Yeah,
that's what we need. So I'm going to come back to Janice. We hear so much about neurodiversity. There's a lot of talk about it. Why should business owners consider it an opportunity rather than a challenge?
Two things. The first is that in order to improve culture, everything that helps the neurodivergent thrive within a workplace will actually help everybody else as well. So therefore, it's really, really essential that workplaces understand what they're going to get out of it. And if they're going to get out an engaged, really on board workforce that's resilient and really passionate about the organization, then that's going to help the organization to thrive. So what's good for the neurodivergent is good for the organization. It's good for other people. And then it's also from the side of the law, because the 2010 Equalities Act does cover all types of disability and neurodiversity. So, they need to be doing reasonable adjustments. And sometimes I'll go into organizations and they'll go, no, we have to treat everybody the same. Otherwise it's not fair. It's like, no, it's about equity. You have to look at what can you do for this individual, because when they are treated in that way, they can be amazing assets to a business. So that's part of it.
And we're all absolutely different. You can't have a cookie cutter, can you? You can't have a cookie cutter.
And also, somebody who's autistic may have very different needs to somebody who's ADHD or dyslexic. So, and then every individual is also different. So it's being able to just have these conversations instead of not knowing how to have the conversation. So it can be an amazing, turnaround for everybody involved when they bring people like us in.
Yeah. Do you talk to huge companies or even small?
All sizes. So everything from the government, the NHS, massive companies, right the way down to, companies with say 5 or even 10 employees. So I've done training and coaching in all sizes of companies. And it's not just me. I also have associate coaches. So
fantastic. How long have you been in this space, Janice?
I've been coaching for over 20 years. but
Wow.
I've been coaching in this field for over 3 years.
Oh, good for you.
And I also train other people to be neurodiversity coaches.
Okay. Yeah, that helps as well. Anne, we're just talking there about these hospitals, right? And they need to have, continuous electricity, and then there's probably manufacturing units where they're making stuff. But what about the rest of us on the show today? Do we need a UPS, or doesn't it matter so much?
I mean, if your business would be affected by a power failure, then yes. So if your comms are going to go down, your routers are going to go down, your servers are going to go down, then yes, you need to be backed up. If you operate your own building, for example, with some of the slightly larger, then you have to have emergency evacuation lifts. Excuse me, sorry. I thought I'd put that on silent. You have to have emergency lighting. You have an obligation legally and morally to those people to have fire suppression and things like that. And all that needs to be backed up. So it's not just about looking after the obvious things. It's about a lot of the stuff that goes on in the background as well.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd say that, because I'm just sat here thinking, I'm all right because my laptop's got a battery, but I wouldn't be able to get any. I wouldn't be able to get any internet, would I? And it's like, but how much? For me, that's fine. I just go down the beach and jump on my paddleboard. But if I was delivering some training today or something, that would be a complete nightmare, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it could be costly. And for you, I mean, something that you would need you're probably only looking at £100 for something that would keep you running. Maybe a couple of £100 for something that would keep you running for 45 minutes to an hour, which is probably enough for you to deliver a podcast or training or whatever it might be.
Well, that makes it even more affordable, because I'm thinking,
when
you're talking about
hospitals, you're talking sometimes hundreds of thousands of pounds, sometimes tens of thousands of pounds. But for a small business, it can literally be in the tens of pounds or in the low hundreds. So if you compare that to what you might lose for a day's worth of training sessions or whatever it might be, then you've just got to weigh it up, really.
Yeah, no, top advice. Lucy, I don't know about you, but when I speak to people about having their photograph taken, they're like, oh no, I can't be seen in front of a camera. Oh dear, dear. What's your advice to help people get over their fear of being in front of the camera?
I completely get it, because I hate being in front of the camera as well. Like today.
Is that why you became a photographer, so you could be the other side? Yeah,
but over the last few years, I've been in front of the camera as well, because I want to feel how my potential clients and my clients feel. Because I find like I'm fine directing people how to do it, but as soon as I'm in front of the camera, I'm like, I don't know where to put my hands. I don't know how to sit. Like you're very aware almost of your body limbs, and you're just like, so I just think from my own experience of being in front of the camera, it helps me direct people that are feeling that extra nervous as well. And we just have fun. So I get to know people before the session, and it's just a bit of banter. We can sit and have a cup of tea and talk things through before. And I also show people the back of the camera as we go throughout our shoot, just so they see what's happening and they actually relax into it a bit more then, because then they think, oh, actually, I look quite good in front of the camera, and this is exactly what I'm wanting. They can see their visuals of how they want to speak to their audience as well come alive. Had a lady once that really didn't want photos taken, and she was really nervous, and you could feel like the nerves in the studio. But as the session went on, as I was showing her the photos, she was like, oh, I might just quit what I'm doing and just become a model instead. These are amazing. So she went from like really nervous to like really embracing the shoot, and just we got the best out of her, because just the way we connected with one another as well just helps both of us relax, really. And I know that I'm doing a good job for her, and she knows that she's getting what she needs. So
and I think that's the thing is making it fun.
Yeah,
helping people to relax. And modern day cameras, because we can see the screen. It's so much easier. When I first got my camera, I had to send the film off and wait weeks for it to come back. So you never had any of that, and that's the thing, isn't it? And so you can suggest things as well. How long have you been taking photos then, and Lucy, and how did you get into it?
Well, for the photo side of stuff, I've been doing for years, probably about 11 years now. I started in family photography and weddings. With weddings, it was more the film side of stuff because that's what I did at university. And then as the years have gone on, it's like transformed more into. I still do the families and babies and stuff in my studio, but then since lockdown, I've been introducing the brand photography. It kind of came as when we went into lockdown, I couldn't do any weddings or have families in the studio. I was a bit like, oh no, what am I going to do? So then I reached out to a few businesses that mostly product businesses, so they could send products to the studio still, and I could take photos and post it all back to them. So it's slowly come from there. And then, in the last couple of years, I've gone more into personal brand photography, helping mostly women in business, but it seems to be women that come to me more than men, but I don't know why that is, but yeah. So
is it that women prefer a female photographer than a male photographer?
Yeah, maybe.
And vice versa.
That might be the case. They feel more comfortable as I'm a woman as well. So yeah, that might be it.
Relate to you more.
Yeah.
We talked about networking. All of us. That's why we want to stand at BizFest. So, Janice, do you do much networking? And have you got any tips for people coming to BizFest of how to, because there's going to be some people at BizFest that have never been to a networking event ever, and it could be overwhelming.
Well, being an autistic individual, I normally absolutely hate networking events completely. I mean, it's like I'd rather have my toenails pulled out. But what was different about going to the BizFest one, it was incredible because all of us were going to be exhibiting. So we already had something that we could talk about and connect over and things like that. But when I do have to do things like that, what I tend to do is just ask other people questions about them rather than it's all about me. And that usually helps massively with, putting other people at ease. But it's not where I like to be as a rule.
It's going to be, it will be busy. And have you got any top tips for networking?
I don't know really. I just walk into the room and just make eye contact and like Janice says, ask questions, be interested. People are often worried to talk about themselves, so try and pull it out of them, and then they'll ask questions of you as well. I mean, I remember meeting both Lucy and Janice at the last event. Strangely that we all ended up on the same out of all the people in the room. And then they both stuck very much in my mind because we had a proper conversation. And I think that's the thing, is to really engage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And follow those nerves a bit. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing is everyone's in the same boat, aren't they? They're all feeling a little bit nervous and what have everybody else got to say. So can you remember that conversation then, Lucy? And what are your top tips for networking?
Yeah, I remember meeting Anne. It was right at the end, wasn't it? And we were both looking at the board of where we were going to be on the day. So we were like, oh, hi. So yeah, it was really nice. And the last networking event that we went to, I guess it was just kind of like everyone was nervously going around with their cups of tea or whatever. But yeah, just asking people what they do. And then I feel like the more we all see each other as well, like at networking events, the more you become friends and then you can, recommend each other to other people and stuff. So I think networking events are the way forward, really. They're amazing. And even though I've not actually met you in real life yet, Ashley, I feel like I know you because just from other people that I've met at networking events, and they obviously followed you first and stuff. So I feel like it's all coming around in a big loop.
And this is the thing with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your virtual networking.
Yeah.
And the brain doesn't understand or make any differentiation to real life video or photo. So if you keep showing up with amazing photos, then people are going to recognize you. Guys, that is all we've got time for. We've got time for a quick little soundbite of where we can get hold of you and what stand you're going to be on at the show. So, Janice.
I'm stand 153, and you can get hold of me either on LinkedIn, Janice Jones, or on my website, janicejones.com.
Perfect. And if you're listening on the podcast, all the contact details will be in the show notes, so you can go down there. Thank you, Janice. Anne.
Likewise, you can reach me at the show on stand 110, so that's 110. You can reach me through LinkedIn, Anne Fisher. Our website is focus-power.co.uk. We're on Google, etc. So you can find us quite easily.
Absolutely brilliant. Wonderful. And finally, last but no means least, Lucy.
I'm also on LinkedIn, just under Lucy Holding, and my website address is lucyholding.co.uk, and I'm on stand 129 at BizFest Southwest.
Fantastic. And you'll be doing some headshots, so we're going to be there'll be a big long queue at your stand.
Well, you might want to get in touch I was thinking I might do some little people need to book in a little slot just so I've got time to
What
talk.
a great idea.
Well,
What a great idea. I love that. I love that. And if we've got any power supply issues or neurodivergence issues, we go and speak to one of you lovely ladies. Thank you so much for coming on my show today. I hope it wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be.
It's really
I
good.
look forward to meeting you at Bovey Castle and seeing you at the show as well. So we will be live at the show on the 2nd of April. So thank you very much, everybody, and cheerio.
Thank you.
Oh, and before I say goodbye, I've also got to give a shout out to my amazing guests next week, who I dropped in here earlier. Where are we? There they go. We have got Tia, Zita, and Tanya, who will be joining me next week. So how cool is that? Right, cheerio, everybody. I will see you next week.
You get out what you put in.